And welcome back to Sports Tonight, our ready-to-repeat portion of the show, brought to us by Ancira, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Trucks. And tonight, the segment includes Richard Oliver. Always great to see you, man. How are you?
I'm good.
Well, not a great ending last night. The walk-off hurt a little bit. Looked like the Astros kind of, in control through the early part of the game. But Colorado, pretty good team. No shame in splitting a quick two-game series with the Rockies. Your thoughts on that quick two-gamer out west?
I thought it was a microcosm of kind of what's going on with the Astros right now. The pitching, the starting pitching, excellent again. So many good things happening in that regard. Doing just enough to win, but the offense on the other side not doing enough to win. It's interesting, in the 10th inning of the game one of the series, the Astros explode for those 6 runs. It was the biggest offensive explosion of any inning this year, other than one earlier this year. And then the second game, 1 hit. Controversy and all the different kind of things you could talk about as far as the Bregman triple that wasn't. But still, the Astros in one of those offensive funks. That's kind of how this season has gone.
Were you surprised that Bregman was that riled up after the game?
I was surprised he was that riled up because clearly on the replay, the fan interfered with the outfielder. The ball, Bregman hits what almost was a home run. Mm-hmm. The fan deflects it just barely, just enough. But, that was a major league outfielder out there that almost had the ball hit him right in the face. So I knew something had happened when the ball comes down and he deflects a little bit. So Bregman's upset. He's on such an offensive role. He's hitting the ball so well. It was a key moment in the game. But, I think more than that, Hector, the idea that Alex Bregman erupted like he did after the game might be an indication of what's happening in that locker room right now. I think the Astros are a little tight. Offensively, they're a little tight. They're not playing good baseball in a lot of different areas. They're hurt. Altuve was out, tweaked his knee again. Yeah. Correa's still not back. He's missed a quarter of the season. So I'm wondering if that kind of reflected the mood in the locker room a little bit. There's some tension happening.
Things could be better right now for the Astros.
They could. I mean, the lower part of that lineup not producing very well. When you have J.D. Davis playing for you, Tony Kemp has become one of the more solid hitters on the team. A lot of the guys that you've counted on throughout the year, we've seen little snatches of greatness from George Springer again. He's kind of had a nice little run, but again, last night kind of got back in the doldrums again. A couple of strikeouts, 4 at-bats. Stuff is just not going as well as it did last year. Marwin Gonzalez not hitting. Carlos Correa hurt. Altuve been dealing with that knee. And Hector, it's not going to get any easier. This is the part, we talked about this long stretch of fairly pedestrian opponents for the Astros. Yeah. Now it gets hard. Now the schedule starts to tighten up a little bit. We're going to see a lot of how good are these Astros? Are they World Series champions caliber again? We'll know here by mid-August.
And I look forward to chatting with you about that stretch here next week and the weeks beyond as they gear up for that stretch in mid-August. But that kind of pedestrian stretch does continue for now with Texas,
right?
A kind of a welcome sight for the Astros. Always a lot of fun, when those two teams get together, especially for us here in San Antonio. Houston's team, Dallas's team, though they both lay claim to being Texas, the state's team. For the Astros, anything you can take away from that outside of it's fun for the fans, considering the Rangers aren't, they're not having a great year?
Yeah, I mean, I still love. A lot of people don't like the Astros going to the American League. They still are upset about that. They want them battling in the National League. I love the rivalry between the Rangers and the Astros, and I don't like the idea that the Rangers are not very good right now. I liked it. I like it when there's tension, when the clubs are kind of scrapping on the field and all kinds of different things are happening. When they're throwing it at Nomar Mazara, that's a lot of fun to me. To have those kind of things happen. See the Astros have little chops. But I do love right now the Astros need to kind of get well offensively, and if you're going to get well offensively against anybody, it's the Texas Rangers, who blew a 10-2 lead the other night against the Oakland A's, a team the Astros needed them to beat.
Right.
And they blew 2 leads, 10-2 and 5-2, back-to-back nights. So the Astros might go in with a little chip on their shoulder, say, look, you could have helped us. Instead, we've got the A's breathing down our necks now.
Yeah, interesting to see. Where were the Rangers when you needed them, right? Hey, give us a little help. It's still relatively early in the season, but still, we'll see what happens. And again, fun when those two teams get together tomorrow at Minute Maid Park. Therefore, the start of a 3-game set. Thank you so much, Richard, for the time, and we're going to see you next week, my man.
I have a feeling a lot to talk about.
Absolutely.
Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Trucks. #1 in San Antonio. Huge selection and always unbeatable prices. You're watching Sports Tonight, San Antonio's only nightly 30-minute sportscast with exclusive sports coverage you won't find anywhere else.